All right, guys, happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. It is Sunday night service, and I am Dani Williamson, and this is Tanya from Tennessee Family Doulas, and I am so excited, guys. If you all are logging on right now, as soon as you get logged on, I'm trying to get mine up here so that I can share it. As soon as you get logged on, hit your share buttons, hit your like buttons, hit share, and then you're going to start a watch party, and then you're going to hit start a watch party again. All right. Hey, Nancy, how are you? All right, guys, share, start a watch party, and then start a watch party again, and hit your heart buttons, hit your like buttons, and it is Sunday night service. Welcome to my kitchen table. It's very fancy, and I made her put on a hat because we're not going to wear these the whole time, but as you guys get logged on, I want to see your hearts, I want to see your likes, and I want to see you guys sharing because you are in for a treat tonight. If you don't know anything about doulas and about childbirth, you're getting ready to learn. If you have friends who are pregnant, who are thinking about getting pregnant, even who have little babies right now and may have other babies, then you want to definitely share this tonight. Yes, right?
Yes.
And you want, because I'm going to tell you something. Let me talk to you about doulas. I was the very first doula in Western Kentucky, Paducah, Kentucky, about 20 years ago, because Jackson's 23, probably 21 years ago. I had just had him, the very first doula, Dani the doula, and I had a doula service. I owned a maternity and children's store. So many of y'all don't know this part about me. I was married. I had 2 little kids. I owned a maternity store for 11 years. It was called Mum's the Word Maternity. And I started teaching. So we had a huge business and great big store. I had 20-something bedding companies in there. I taught childbirth classes. I taught Lamaze childbirth classes. I taught for a specific doctor in town, an OBGYN. I became a certified doula through Doulas of North America. You do not want to be the first doula in the hometown. Let me tell you, it was, so my very first birth was actually my cousin, and it was Lisa Chumbo. I don't know if she's on here tonight or not, but Lisa, it was her son, and Dr. Price was the doctor, and he let me have my hands on that baby as that baby was being born. This was my very first experience as a doula. So I thought very naively that that's how all births were going to be. These doctors were going to welcome me with open arms and say, oh my gosh, where has Dani been? We've needed a doula in Western Kentucky. Oh my gosh, it was awful. It was terrible. I fought the system. They actually went to one of the doctors there, who actually ended up getting fired, which was quite interesting, said I was a liability to the hospital, all these things. They had a big board meeting, but I got to continue on. So doula, for those of you who don't know, and if you've ever hired a doula or considering hiring a doula, hit your heart buttons, because I want to see who knows what a doula is. Doula is an ancient Greek term, supposedly, that means woman servant, right? And what a doula does is they help a woman through labor and delivery emotionally, physically, and mentally. There's no medical work going on. You're not doing anything. She's not checking you to see how dilated you are. She's not doing anything medically, but it's emotional, physical, and mental support. And I'm going to tell you, it is equally as much support for the husband as it is the woman. So I had about 30 plus births in Paducah before I ended up turning 40 and moving to Nashville to start nurse practitioner school, which is a little bit how you've done things.
Yeah.
I just asked her, how'd you do this? And she said she turned 40, and tell me what all happened.
Well, I had been doing childcare for 20 years, and I turned 40, and I thought, what am I going to be when I grow up? And so one of my friends had suggested doula, and I didn't even know what that was.
Neither did I.
But she was like, it fits your personality, you'd be good at it. And so I took a training, and here I am. I really love it. It's perfect.
Yeah, it is. And then, okay, so you started this about 5 years ago.
Yep.
And then when did you start Tennessee Family Doulas?
Almost 2 years ago.
And what she's done in 2 years, friends, is unbelievable. I am so, so proud of you. So tell us what you do. Tell us what Tennessee Family Doulas does.
Well,
and then we're going to talk about what's your dream for Tennessee Family Doulas.
So
and I'm going to take this off because those of you all who don't, wow, it looks totally different now. Oh my goodness. Okay. So talk to us about Tennessee Family Doulas. And I've got her phone number and her website up here.
Yeah. So I have 4 doulas that work with me. We have 2 labor doulas and 2 postpartum doulas right now. And I'm getting ready to bring on some more. We offer labor support where we're with you through the pregnancy, and we attend labor with you, and we follow up with you postpartum and make sure you're coping well.
Yes.
And we also offer postpartum support, which is in your home after you bring home baby, to make sure you're getting sleep, that you're being nourished well, that you have all the emotional support questions answered that you have. We all know there's a million questions that come up when you have a baby. So we help with that. We also do placenta encapsulation.
I was just writing that down. That's what I was writing because I wasn't sure if you did that.
Yeah, and we do childbirth education. So those are all the things.
So you do all of these things. Mm-hmm. You have 4 doulas plus you, or 4 total. So there's 5 of you total. And you're looking for more? You're hiring more?
Hiring actively more. And we're holding some trainings.
I saw that on Facebook.
Because I need more doulas. So if you're 40, come see me.
If you're 40 and you want to make a midlife turn, I'm going to tell you, there is nothing like witnessing the birth of a child. So my first delivery was at Lourdes Hospital with Dr. Price and Lisa, and I'd had my own 2 babies. I mean, I had my own, but I'd never been in a delivery with anyone else. I'm going to tell you, now I'm a Christian, so I believe in God, and if you don't believe there's a God after you see the birth of a baby, oh my word. I mean, I don't know what to say because it is absolutely mind-blowing. I, to this day, remember Tucker's head coming out. I mean, 1 second there's a baby inside you, and then the next second there's a head sticking out and those eyeballs looking at you, and it is like, woo! And then that baby just comes right out. Oh my goodness. It is the most exciting. I'm a nurse midwife, and I miss that. I haven't delivered a baby in 10 years, and 9 years, because I delivered babies in Haiti at the earthquake, but I haven't delivered a baby. But I'm going to tell you, there's nothing like that. No. And if you could bottle, those of you who've never had babies, or if you have had babies, if you could bottle, I used to tell this in my childbirth class, if you could bottle the love that's in a delivery room between a man and a woman when that baby's born, I don't know how you'd have any divorce. The divorce rate would be so low, it's not even funny. If you could bring it back and remember how you felt, because it is unbelievable what happens when a new baby opens their eyes, screams for the first time, and is laid on mom's breast right here.
I always feel like you can feel God in the room.
Oh my goodness!
It's like you're so close to heaven. I don't even know how to describe it, but I feel like you're like your foot is almost in heaven's door when you're just seeing the baby.
Has anybody here seen a baby born that's not their own baby? Have you been in the childbirth intentionally or not intentionally? Just been in somewhere where a baby was born. Hit your heart buttons if you have, because I'm telling you, it will change your world. If you haven't, you need to try to find a friend who will let you in their delivery room, or their home birth or whatever. So now, do you attend home births as well?
Yeah. A lot of the home birth midwives in our area bring a ton of support staff with them. So people don't always hire us for home births, but we do.
You do? Okay. So they hire, when they hire you, so you all, I was just doing a little research. I mean, I know all about doulas, but I found a New York Times article written in 2015. So that's not 4 years ago. And it said in New York City in 2015, there were approximately 400 doulas that attend 5,600 births a year, which is about 5% of the childbirth in New York City. So still a very small, and 5 years later, 4 years later, I suspect it's not that many more doulas.
No,
maybe
it's like 6%.
Maybe about 6%. So does that go nationwide? Is it about 6%? So how many births did you have last year? You're only 2 years old, so.
Yeah, last year I did, I think 25. 20 or 25. It's like a couple of months. But there's been more. I mean, we already have more so far this year signed up.
So tell them what happens when they hire a pregnancy doula, a birth doula. So as soon as you know you're pregnant, you call your doula. I mean, I'm seriously, when I was a doula, I would get the phone call before the husband even knew the wife was pregnant. And one time I had a husband call me before they called anybody. I mean, clearly the woman knew she was pregnant, but I mean, it was like, you got to call Dani because it was the second delivery. It's interesting. The more you do this, so you're only 2 years into this. So you've probably got some multiples already, a second delivery, second baby, but you will have, if you're a good doula, they're going to hire you the second time and the third time, because especially if they didn't have you the first time and they hired you the second time, it's like, whoa, right?
They can't, they're like, I can't do it without you.
So if they call you, say I get pregnant, God forbid, that can't happen. Number one, you got to be exposed. Number two, your tubes need to be open for that one. But if I got pregnant and I called you right now and I said, okay, Tanya, I want to hire your company. Then what happens the next 9 months?
Yeah, so we offer unlimited phone and text and email support through the whole 9 months. So we check in and do like after every doctor's or midwife appointment, we at least check in then. But we're also available anytime you have like a weird twinge of a pain or some question that pops into your head that you hadn't thought of before. We answer phone and text constantly, and then
we didn't have text messaging back then. There were cell phones when I was doing.
Yeah, you can send me a picture.
Pagers. I had pagers. My pager would go off. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and then so we do that all the way through. We do a prenatal visit where we walk through like exactly what they want that birth to look like, best case scenario, and then we go through like the alternate plans if things don't exactly go that way.
Is that a birth plan? Or no?
Yeah, it's a birth plan. We kind of call it like a birth preferences worksheet type of thing. Yeah. So that people don't feel like they failed. Like if a plan doesn't happen, then you feel like it failed, but that's really not how birth is. Because
you don't fail. If you get a healthy mom and a healthy baby, there is no failed birth.
Right.
Now, I never had a C-section. I just kind of squatted down and had 2 babies, and that was how that worked. But women do feel like it's been a failure if they end up with a C-section. Now, do you go into the delivery, to the operating room? Will they let you in there here?
Some it's all up to the anesthesiologist. So some of them are open to having an extra person in, or especially if the partner, for whatever reason, is not able to be there, we can. But yeah, sometimes they let us get ready, and then we alternate, like if dad has to go with baby to the nursery or whatever. So we're ready, and we at least meet them in recovery.
Okay.
So if we can't be in the room.
So while you're pregnant, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, do y'all meet anytime? Do you start to meet any in there? Do you do, I mean, so whether you're going to have childbirth class, most likely they're going to take class with you.
Well, we do their initial consult, and then we do the childbirth class, and then we do the prenatal visit. And that's kind of our 3 meetings. We sometimes go like to an appointment with them if they want us to meet their provider.
Yes.
So, and then just do the birth.
So the second you go into labor is when you call your doula.
Yes.
And the
That's my
doula,
preference.
yes, the doula is the one. Do you show up at their house? Because like I would go to their house, and be there the whole time. So the doula is with you from the very first ping. Oh my goodness. If you choose to call them, your doctor or your midwife's not there with you through the very first twinge. So it could be 24 hours. It could be 36 hours. It could be it could be a very long time. I remember breastfeeding Ella, pumping a lady in labor, a doula mama in labor. I'm in the room pumping, like on the other side over there. I mean, it was like, holy cow, because I was like blowing up bigger than anything. It's like, oh my gosh, I got to pump, and she's over. Oh yeah. But the doulas don't leave.
No.
I mean, they're with you from the beginning to the end. How long do you stay after the baby's born if they're in the hospital? I mean, a couple hours. That's how I did it as well.
To make sure they're settling, first latch has happened, that kind of thing. Make sure dad got food, things like that.
Yes. I'm telling you, hiring a doula is as much for the dad, maybe even more so, than it is for the mom, because it takes, here's how I used to explain it to people. It takes the pressure off of dad to have to know what to do.
Right.
Because, they get a childbirth class, they get a series of childbirth classes, all this, especially if it's first baby. They don't have any idea. These men are absolutely clueless. They have no clue. And everybody is who goes through. Nobody knows. They're not used to seeing their wife or their partner or their girlfriend or whatever in severe pain. Right?
Yeah.
And then she'll say,
freaky.
oh my gosh, my back is killing me. Push on my back. And the second he touches her back, she backhands him, says, not there, not there. And they freak out. Men just don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a doula pushing on the back, knowing all the things to do, the man gets to be present right there with mom as much as she wants him to be.
Right.
And she may not want him to be. She may want him over there on the chair sitting, watch, and that's all okay too.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever works for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think dads feel like they can relax because they can look at our faces and know we're cool. This is all good. Normal sounds, normal, whatever, instead of feeling like they have to worry about every little thing.
That's right. So I'm telling you, it is the greatest gift that you can give yourself, I think, is to hire a doula personally. And I don't know how many doulas are in are in Nashville, but I know that it's just, women have helped women through labor and delivery for thousands of years or more. It's just, they know what to do, you know?
Yeah.
So then the baby's born and then you stay for a couple hours. Do they get anything? So say they don't hire a postpartum doula. Do they get anything after that, after you leave? Because I don't know how that works.
Yeah, we go to their house the day after they get home from the hospital usually, or after the birth center.
Okay.
Right after. And then we make sure to, sometimes we need to process things that happened in the birth. There's questions like, why did that happen? Or what did they say at that point? So we talk through that.
Yes.
And answer any questions because there's a million of them after the first night at home.
Yes.
And
oh my goodness. I'll never forget that first night.
No, it's like crazy. And then we help make sure, like, if they have questions about breastfeeding or even bottle feeding, we'll help them figure out what works best. Usually give a swaddle lesson too, like how to swaddle great.
Yeah, because people don't know how to do that
in the hospital.
No, they don't learn. No. And they're so freaked out in the hospital. Okay, so that's a pregnancy doula, and then postpartum. Say somebody's going to hire you postpartum. What does that involve?
Well, it can look at a few different ways. One of our really popular services, I guess, is the overnight support. So we go and we spend 10 hours overnight with you. It can be 1 day a week, 6-7 days a week. We basically help, if you're breastfeeding, we help with each feeding. And then we do all the baby care in between so that you can just sleep in between.
What do you mean 10 hours? So you'll spend there 10 hours in a daytime, in a day. Not
like
10 hours total. 10 hours. What?
Like we go there at 9 p.m.
Yes.
And leave at 8 or 7.
Okay. So one night, 10 hours.
Yeah.
And then do they hire you for one time, 2 times? I mean, how's that work?
They usually think like how many weeks do they want us, and we just add up the hours. So they hire us as a package of hours.
Okay.
So like maybe they just want 40 hours, which would be 4 overnights, or maybe they want us for 500 hours, and that's like 10 weeks of overnights.
What?
Yeah.
500 hours. Okay, so how do you, because people will want to know prices and how this stuff works. So if you're going to hire a birth doula, how's that work? What's the fee for that?
It's $1,200.
$1,200. So ladies, do you want to know how much it was in Paducah, Kentucky 21 years ago? Take a guess. No, $250.
Oh, gosh.
$250 is what I charged. Of course, I was the first one.
Yeah.
So, I couldn't charge $500. It's well worth $500, $1,200, $1,500, $250. No wonder I was so busy.
Yeah.
Out loud. I was raising the babies, nursing babies, doing a doula, teaching childbirth class, running Mum's the Word, going back and forth to market. I got 6 days off with Ella. I took Ella to market at 6 days old.
Oh,
yeah, she slept all the way to Chattanooga. I'll never forget it. And I was just like blowing up. Margot and I left at 3 a.m. We drove from Paducah to Chattanooga, and finally I was like, we got to wake this kid up. Of course, she'd never driven like that in a car, right? So okay, so $250. So it's what, $1,200? Is that what you said? $1,200 for the birth. And then if we're doing a postpartum, how does that work? Pricing?
Yeah, if they want 500 hours, it's $32 an hour.
$32 an hour.
Yeah. If they want less than that, we call it like intermittent care. Anything under 500, that's $35 an hour.
Okay.
And if they want live-in care, we offer 5-day live-in, and that's $30 an hour.
5-day live-in? Like you move in?
We stay there just 24/5. We do it for 5 days and then take 2 days off usually.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we
that's a
help
big deal.
We
You
help with all the
got
food and all the, just helping keep the house going. But we also help with every single feeding, the sponge baths, all the new things that you don't know how to do.
it's great. I would love this. Maybe if I ever decide to retire, I want to get back into doing something like that again.
Yeah.
I'd have to sit on my hands though, because I'm a midwife, right? So I would I'd be like, come on, we can do this at home. Let's just go ahead and deliver this baby. No, can't do that. But I mean, it's funny because, I could stay at somebody's house for 5 days and do it because the pressure's off. We've already done this. We've already raised our kids.
Yeah.
We know you're not going to hurt these babies. They have already made the roughest journey they're ever going to make, which is through a birth canal, for crying out loud. They have pushed themselves out of a hole that big right there, right, that gets to this big. There's a reason childbirth hurts. Don't ever let anybody tell you it doesn't hurt, but it's pain with a purpose, for sure. But I mean, they have gone down a canal. They've just had a rough journey to get into this world, and you don't realize you're not going to hurt them. Right. But I never even thought about staying there for 5 days or something like that. Man, can you imagine those of us who never had that? You and I never had anything like that. What a better mama you would be if you had some rest and you had some guidance that wasn't your mom or your mother-in-law in there.
Yeah, you can actually get like a head start in your recovery because you have the support constantly.
Yes.
Constantly happening. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So birth doulas, postpartum doulas, talk to me about your childbirth classes. So do you teach childbirth classes just for your people or for
everybody?
Share that.
So we teach a childbirth class. It's called Prepared Childbirth, the uncensored version.
Woo!
And
I like uncensored.
So it just means that we talk about all the different options that you have, from setting your environment up to how it feels good to you, to what kind of provider you can have, what choices there are through every path, whether it's a natural, unmedicated labor, an epidural, or a C-section. So we go through all of the different paths.
How long is that class? Is it several weeks? Does it go through?
It's a 1 day, 4-hour class.
1 day, 4 hour. Okay. Yeah. I taught mine. Mine was, I used to break it up and then I ended up teaching it on Saturdays from like 8 to 1 or something. I can't remember how we did it, but ended up doing it like that. And it worked better.
Yeah.
People liked that.
We do 9 to 2 on Saturday.
9
It's the
to
first
2.
Saturday of the month. And I provide lunch. So
you do?
Bring lunch in.
Where do you do your childbirth classes?
At Grace Point Healthcare.
Oh yeah. I
They
didn't know that.
They let us use the boardroom. So
that's a good room. Fantastic. I had no idea you did that there. And then you have a pregnancy discussion group.
Yes.
So talk about that. So
Yeah. So we meet twice a month on the first and third Thursdays.
First and third Thursday.
At the Starbucks off Old Hickory. And I bring in a different topic each month. So we have like a time at the beginning for any questions that people have about their pregnancy. Then we do like a little 20-minute presentation and then more questions at the end. So it's about an hour long, but I bring a new topic each time so that they're learning about, everything in the pregnancy realm, but also postpartum, like maybe cloth diapering or all the different things that you might not be able to get education on. We talk about.
By the way, people, I cloth diapered both of my children. They never wore disposable diapers unless we were traveling. And we traveled a lot when they were little because I owned the store, so I was going to market back and forth, and these kids were hauling them to market. Oh, good Lord. I don't know. There's a reason young people have babies. I mean, I was 30 and 31. They were 19 months apart, but I cloth diapered my babies. I was a fruitcake in Paducah, Kentucky. And I didn't consider myself all natural and all, but I just thought, well, gosh, I heard they potty train quicker if they were cloth diapered. So I was like, anything that's going to get these kids out of diapers, I'm going to do. Yeah. So I cloth diapered them. I made all of their baby food. They never had prepared baby food unless we traveled, right? Which was so easy. And people, again, thought that was a freak, right? Because I made their baby food. Well, big deal. I just blended up carrots. I mean, it's nothing. And they exclusively breastfed. Not one of my children had formula, not one. I only have 2 children, so neither one of them did. And it was like, wow, that was also difficult, but it was it went by so fast.
Mhm.
The days are long and the years are short.
For
I
sure.
think that's what,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. They
Right?
fly. The years fly by. That's exactly right.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. It's
Mhm.
been that long. But I'll see moms nursing in my office, and I get like, I swear to you, I
can
get this
still get
letdown.
the-
I get a letdown.
You
And
can
I
still
haven't,
get the letdown.
oh my gosh, I would nurse a baby in a heartbeat right now. Jennifer is pregnant November 21st, right here, ladies. She hasn't told anyone yet. Woo! But she just
Congratulations.
told the World Wide Web. Jennifer, congratulations. Is this your first baby? Is it your first baby? Jennifer, I don't know how you say it. Cancino? Well, if you live in Middle Tennessee and you need a doula, I'm telling you, Tennessee Doulas, right? Tennessee
Yay.
Family Doulas.
Mhm.
Okay, let's talk about placental encapsulation. So I never got a chance to encapsulate my placenta. Well, that would have thrown them over the edge. I mean,
They would have thrown you out.
there
of
is
the-
no doubt, because I delivered, again, this is too much for y'all to know, but I delivered both of my children with no clothes on, like
Mhm.
stark naked, on my hands and knees, screaming, oh my gosh, help me, Jesus. I mean, seriously, it was like rocking back and forth. When I came into labor with Ella, it was 2:30 in the morning when we got to the hospital. She was born about 4-ish or so, somewhere around there. I walked in with my big birthing ball, and my friend Marion was with me, and my ex-husband Greg. And I'll never forget Rocky looking at me, and Rocky said, she was the nurse who was with my first baby, and she was always a great nurse for me as a doula. She said, oh Lord, no, we're not ready for this again. We are not ready for this again. And I was the last person to get there on October the 11th, because October 11th is her birthday. All the birthing rooms were full. Every single room was full. Every birthing room, every side room, everything was full. So I was like, well, what am I going to do? So I said, well, I'll be back. And she said, what do you mean you're going to be back? And I said, I'm going walking. I'll just be back. So Greg and Marion behind me, right? And I just take off in my gown with my butt shining out there. And I walk around the hospital. I come back up and I'm 9 centimeters, right? An hour later. So from 4 to 9 centimeters, which 10 is when you deliver a baby.
Yeah.
So they still didn't have a room for me, and everything was full. So they took me into the operating room, right? And literally one push and this kid was out. I mean, because Jackson, if y'all seen his head's about, when he was born, I said he'll never hold his head up until he's about 3 years old, because his head was so stinking big. So he'd already blazed a trail for his sister. So his sister just fell out into Kelly's hands. And then so I was the last one in to labor and delivery, the first one to deliver.
Oh my
The first. So they wheeled me back. Everybody else still screaming in their rooms and all that. And I was like, got my babe and I'm on my way. But I'm going to tell you, that is the power of mobility, of staying mobile.
Yes.
If you guys are pregnant right now and you've never had a baby, stay upright. Jump up on the just like this. Squat just like this, because you're not designed to have a baby laying on your back. You can't poop on your back. You can't do anything. Well, you can do a couple things on your back. Pray got pregnant that way, but you're not designed to have babies on your back. Squat. As you do that, you open up the pelvis, right? And they don't like you moving around in a hospital room, or in the old days. I don't know how it is now.
They're more flexible now.
Had to have an enema. What? You had to have an enema, and you had to have an IV back when and I refused the enema and I refused the IV and had to sign my life away back then.
Right.
Oh yeah. So, okay. Anyway, I'm sorry I got sidetracked, because I love talking about babies and I love childbirth. Placental encapsulation.
Yeah.
Tell these people exactly what it is, the nitty gritty.
Okay, so after a placenta is born, my clients will tell the nurse, like, I'm taking it home with me. And so the nurses will, after maybe some scoffing, we'll put it in a bag and give them some ice, because you bring a cooler with you to the hospital or birthing center, and they'll package it up. You bring it home, and then I come over usually on day 3. After the day you get home from the hospital, usually is when it happens. And we clean it. I drain it as much blood as I can out, and I put it in a steamer pot with lemon and ginger in the water.
Lemon and ginger.
And
I don't know about all this.
We steam it. They're supposed to be, the lemon is an astringent and the ginger is like a warming agent. And since this is ancient Chinese medicine that we're dealing with, we're kind of following their recipe. So we
Okay.
steam it up for about 12 minutes just to really kill any bacteria that might have grown between birth and when I'm there. And then we slice it up into thin slices and put it on a dehydrator.
Okay.
And then it dehydrates for a day. Then I come back the next day and put those little tiny dehydrated chunks into a grinder. And then I put that ground stuff into capsules. And that's it.
And so you fill all these capsules. How many capsules do you fill with it? Fill. I'm such a redneck.
Well, every
Fill.
placenta is a different size. So it can be anywhere from 50 to 250 capsules, depending on how big your placenta was.
So what's the benefit of a placenta, encapsulating your placenta and taking it by mouth, people? If y'all don't know about this, you take it, you swallow your placenta.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what we're doing. It's hopefully more.
At least you're not making placenta
palatable.
soup out of it, because they
Some people
do
do.
that.
Mhm.
Oh, I know.
Or they'll take chunks and put it into smoothies.
No. No. I considered burying mine in the tree or in the yard out back, because it's a sign of fertility and all those great things, but they wouldn't let me take my placenta home. I mean, okay. So anyway, what are the benefits of encapsulating one's placenta? What does it do for you?
It's supposed to improve healing times,
Yep.
and it's supposed to increase milk supply and make you feel more balanced, more like yourself,
Yes.
faster. There's such a huge drop when the placenta is born. It's the one making a bunch of your hormones, and it's born. And so then your body, the other organs have to pick up making hormones. And sometimes, like the thyroid can be a little sluggish about picking back up. And so it takes about 6 weeks for those organs to get back going. And
Yes, it does.
So they take the capsules in higher quantity at the beginning, and they taper off, hopefully to mimic the path, how their hormones are coming back up. So you want it to sort of level everything out.
So how long do we end up taking the placenta?
Well, you can take it until it is all
It's
gone.
right?
But you start with like 6 capsules a day,
Okay.
and then you step down to 3, and then 2, and it's like there's a step down process.
Well, it's interesting, because I have a lot of patients we have a lot of pregnancies in our office every year, because this is, and that's a blessing, knock on wood. A lot of people come in and they have had miscarriages, or they haven't been able to get pregnant. Well, then we get their hormones back on track, their thyroid back on track, all these things, the gut. And just as they're starting to feel better and I got all this going, we get the phone call. Tanya's pregnant. What? What do you mean you're pregnant? Oh my Lord, we just got this together over here. But I'm grateful and I'm glad they're pregnant. So the ones who did not encapsulate their placenta the first pregnancy and went through postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis. My mother went through that. Had a lot of problems afterwards healing. When they encapsulate the second baby or the second placenta, they do that after the second baby. They have a completely different postpartum recovery time. It's fascinating. Yeah. Did you do this with your children?
I don't even.
I know.
I'm from like middle Missouri. I don't know that they did it there.
Oh, no. Yeah.
We're like
I don't know if they're doing it in Paducah, Kentucky. I don't think we have. I usually have my friend Lori. She's still labor and delivery nurse in Paducah. She's always watching, but I don't see her on here tonight. But they have just a completely different, less postpartum depression, because, that's a big deal. And I taught a lot on that when I was teaching childbirth class, because many times mom doesn't see it happening because she's in the throes of all this.
Right. She just doesn't feel like herself.
And I used to tell Dad, look, you've got to pay attention, because your wife probably better, hopefully better than anybody. And you've got to stay on top of this, because if she seems down, poor Harlan, he's really snoring over there. He's like, sorry, guys. You've got to get her some help. And I don't mean throw her on the first antidepressant unless she needs it. If she's suicidal or something like that, then but I'm telling you, I'm so impressed with placenta encapsulation. I am. I think, and I didn't realize, so it's a Chinese thing. It's an ancient Chinese medicine. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know about pregnancy, postpartum, childbirth classes, your pregnancy discussion groups, encapsulating the placentas. What is your dream? What do you really want to do here? Because 2 years. So you've been in business 2 years. You've grown by leaps and bounds, and we're going to talk about your bump to baby deal.
Okay.
That is, I'm highly impressed with that. what is your goal? What do you want? When you look down the road 5 years from now and you're 45, no, 47.
Yeah,
Somewhere
5
there?
years, I'll be almost 50.
Oh my gosh. I'll be 57 years. No, I'll be 58 in 5 years.
Oh.
Shut your mouth. 58 years old. What in the world?
Yeah, I'll be almost 50. But I think one thing that's been in my brain since I started this is I would love to have some sort of maternal care place that people can come for acupuncture and chiropractic work and all those natural holistic things that really can improve pregnancy and the postpartum experience. So I'd like to have like a office with that stuff in it.
I would like for you to have that as well. We would love for you. I know we need that. We don't have anything like that here. Not at all.
And Williamson County doesn't even have like a great yoga studio for prenatal yoga or anything that's really focused in on maternal health. So that's kind of the big dream. Yeah.
So we have in Nashville, Bluma. And so
right.
they do a good job with
I love them.
Yeah, they do a great job. Okay. Well, that dream is so attainable. I mean, that's not, I mean, you do have to have a space and it's not cheap around here. I know I pay rent every month, but Tanya started this bump to baby fair. When was the first one?
Last January.
So January 2018 was the first one. And you've had two or three?
Two.
Okay. So listen, she does this bump to baby fair. This year, I didn't get my act together in time and I didn't get to set a booth up. And then I was thinking, I don't need a booth there. Why the heck would I need a booth there? I mean, these women are pregnant. Not even thinking that I needed to put a yoni booth in there because yoni steaming, which we do upstairs at Integrative Family Medicine, is originated as postpartum, right? In a lot of Asian countries. And so bump to baby, tell us about this. So I just went to hers. When was it? February?
Yeah, February 16th.
February 16th. She had it. It's at the factory in Liberty Hall. I walked in there. I could not believe how big and professional this thing was. Was the first one this like that?
Yeah, we had a few more vendors this time.
A few more? My gosh. I don't know how many you had this time.
We had 52.
52 vendors at a baby fair. Girl, this is huge. I couldn't believe it. I was so proud of you. And then up on the stage there, she's got all these people talking and all these pregnant moms and all these ladies sitting there listening to all this. And I'm going to speak next. She doesn't know it, but I'm telling her. I told her before, I said, I'm going to speak next time. I'm going to talk about toxins and detox and all those things and try to get you healthy before the baby's born. Tell us about the bump to baby and what you have coming up.
Yeah, so it was so successful. We went from 250 attendees the first year to we had over 750 attendees this year. And they came from everywhere. We had people from Alabama and Georgia and Kentucky. They all drove in. People from Florida came because they saw it on Facebook.
No.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, oh, hi. Yeah, they came to Franklin a day early and they stayed. So we're helping like tax dollars.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, so we have speakers that happen all day. So it was so successful. We want to do it again because we realized we're missing a whole segment of people that get pregnant right after the show.
Yes.
And by the time we do another one a year later, they've already had their baby.
That's exactly right.
They don't get the resources that we provide. So
that's right. So because people get pregnant all year long, and I was telling her before we went on, when I had the maternity store, I learned real fast that I had to advertise 12 months a year because somebody who gets pregnant in January is not pregnant in August or September anymore. So I mean, you just have to. They get pregnant all month long. I mean, every month of the year. And so, when is it? Do you have the date?
Yeah, it's August 31st.
August 31st,
which is Labor Day weekend. I know. Everyone says, "Do you know that's Labor Day weekend?"
Oh.
But we have to go by the factory's availability, so that's when they have.
Okay.
Time. 6 months later.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Well, Labor Day, I mean, I don't go
It's
anywhere
fun
for
'cause
Labor
pregnancy,
Day.
Labor Day.
See,
I like
okay,
it.
so at Mom's the Word Maternity, and I have all my ads over there. I found them all yesterday,
Oh,
and I
nice.
used to get, and I had Labor Day sales.
Mhm.
Always, every Labor Day, I had a sale, and I would use all these crazy ads like push your credit to the limit, and I mean, oh yeah, just crazy stuff that I would do, and yeah, don't sales so cheap. It's I don't remember, not painful. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, I think Labor Day is a perfect time to do that. You can really play on that.
Mhm.
Well, I would love to be a part of that. But guys, so keep paying attention to that, because Tennessee Family Doulas, you're on Facebook, right? So
Yep.
you'll have your event.
Yes.
Where all do you, and do you have a web? Oh, you do have a website, which is TennesseeFamilyDoulas.com.
Yes, and there's a link to the Bump to Baby event on that website. So you can find out more about Bump to Baby.
And the beauty of this is, if you have something that you think would be a great booth at the Bump to Baby, you can reach out to her and
we have a
buy
few left. A lot of our vendors are coming back, but so I think we've already sold 25 booths, but we have more.
What?
We still have some.
Well, hold me one,
I'll
because
hold you
Integrated
one,
Family Medicine wants one, for crying out loud. We need to be there. Dr. Stores was there this year. I mean, there was some really
Dr.
great.
Paige Prather was there. She does the lip and tongue tie revision.
Oh yeah.
So she was there. We had a lot of great ones. We had Modern Acupuncture was there, and they're going to speak in August to talk about like acupuncture and how you can use it in pregnancy and even to help with labor, getting labor going.
You bet. There's lots of things you can do to get labor going.
Yeah. If you're trying to avoid a medical induction, there are some natural inductions.
That's right. Like sex, it works. Having an orgasm, it works. And so I used to tell my patients, puking and orgasms will bring a baby down, and an orgasm is way more pleasurable than puking. Sure. They both will do that because they contract the uterus, right?
Right.
And so I'd say you got to have sex, but you got to have good sex. It's not just him. You got to have good sex too. You got to have an orgasm. But there's a hormone in the sperm that softens up the cervix, so that works too. But you need to have, and it'll bring a baby down. I'm telling you, it will. It'll help start. And then acupuncture, and there's all kinds of things. So, okay. So this is Jennifer's 4th baby, for crying out loud. Oh my word. Congratulations. She goes, shh. Well, you told them. Jennifer, oh my goodness. All right, guys. Anything else that you want to say before I share some stuff that's going on with us at the office? Anything?
Well, I was going to say that our childbirth classes are only $50 because I think knowledge is power. So
you bet it is.
We really want to offer even cheaper than the hospital. The hospital classes teach you how to be a great patient, and I want to teach you how to be a good advocate for yourself.
You've got to be an advocate for yourself, whether you have a doula or not. And I would highly recommend you hire a doula, but just because I'm partial to doulas and I'm partial to midwives. But if you don't, or you can't afford it, and I completely understand that, if you can't, then you have to be an advocate for yourself, because this is your delivery. This is your body. Now, they're not going to let you do something that's going to hurt you, but I do think it's a little bit better than it was 20 something years ago. I mean, they're used to now people coming in saying, I don't want an IV. I don't want this. I don't want that. I want to labor in the bathtub, right? I want to walk around, things like that. But you don't have to stay in that bed. Now you do if there's a medical condition, or if the baby's having decelerations, their heart rate's going down, or things like that. I mean, there are always exceptions to the rule. Right. You can also walk around with that monitor on. They don't like you to do that, but you can.
Yeah. And now they have wireless. Some have wireless monitors, which are even better.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do y'all go to all hospitals wherever they
go?
What is your radius? So do you have a radius? I mean, if somebody called you in Summertown, I don't know, Summertown, that just popped up, but
usually it's like within 45 minutes of Brentwood.
Okay, 45 minutes of Brentwood. Yeah.
That's kind of that takes you almost out to, Hendersonville and kind of Murfreesboro and kind of around.
Okay. Yeah, that's how I did it.
Springfield is like, I have a client in Springfield, but that's an hour drive. So that's pushing it, but yeah.
Boy, that is pushing it.
I know, that's long. That's a long haul out there. But yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, guys. We appreciate you.
Yes.
And I am so grateful that you showed up. Tanya and I have been friends for a while.
Yes.
We both speak at this women's conference in Georgia called More. And we met, well, we didn't meet there. We met actually prior to that, but several years. But I just love this woman. You know that I am a huge advocate of women who start their own businesses. She was 40 when she did this. I was 40 when I went back to nursing school. There's something about 40. There's something about saying, you know what, I got to do something different, you know, and I want to help people. Yeah. And I'm just a fan of yours. And September the 12th is our 5-year anniversary at our office, and we're doing a huge fundraiser. And I want you to have something there, some sort of booth or something going on there. But guys, if you all are interested at all, or if you know somebody who's pregnant or think about getting pregnant, I mean, hit her up. And then August 31st, heck yeah, let's do Bump to Baby. And I think that'll,
it's a party.
Yeah, it is. It was wild in there. But next week, I'm going to be in New York City. I leave on Friday morning. I'm going to present a poster at a Lyme and a mold conference in New York. So I'm excited about that. And that's kind of fun. Me and Dr. Burdette, who is in the office this week, she's doing a poster. Dr. Horowitz, there's several of us. And then there's me. I don't know. But anyway, I got chosen. So I'm thrilled to death about that. So I don't think we'll have a Sunday night service next Sunday night. Possibly I'll do something from New York City. It just depends. We were nominated for a Sizzle Award. Have you voted yet?
No,
but you got to. We're going to vote before you walk out of this house. Integrative Family Medicine was nominated for a Sizzle Award. We are actually winning it right now.
Oh, nice.
Williamson Medical Center, Heritage, Vanderbilt always win those top 3. And by guinea, we are winning. So I am thrilled to death. You guys have voted, but you just go to franklinis.com, click on Sizzle, and vote for Integrative Family Medicine. But you have to vote for 5 businesses. You can't just vote for me. You have to vote for an eye doctor and this and that. If you don't know those businesses, you can just skip it because it says skip. You can click skip, but you have to click 5 because a lot of people say I voted, but I didn't vote for 5. Well, your vote doesn't count if you didn't vote for 5. We would love to win because guess what? We are the only 100% woman-owned business in this category and of primary care providers. And so I am thrilled with that. I would give anything to win that. And if we win it, it's because you all are voting. I'm working all day, so I don't get a chance to vote. March 31st, Angela Roberts, the Spinach Tiger, because we had to reschedule because it was the Academy Awards and we didn't want to compete with them. Is going to be talking to us about aging gracefully. So she's a woman who in her 60s now she's got this unbelievable blog and she cooks. Do you follow the Spinach Tiger? You need to go to spinachtiger.com. She is amazing. She's got over 1,000 original recipes on there. She's an Italian. She loves to live life big. She loves to eat big. She loves the whole thing. And she's going to be talking about aging gracefully, eating well, moving your body, and all those things. She's a true Italian when you get, so that's going to be the 31st. And then also, if you guys are not familiar, we have a YouTube channel under the same name here, Dani Williamson Wellness. All of our Sunday night services are on there. So you can become a subscriber. I think it says subscribe to the channel. And then, because I hardly have anybody on there because I forget to tell people. So go to the YouTube or YouTube under Dani Williamson Wellness and follow us. And you can watch all of our Sunday night services, which you're going to be on there. It takes a while to download it and get it up on YouTube. But anyway, so this week is going to be a crazy week. If you missed Dr. Burdette Friday at the office, if you didn't watch the video on her talking about the relationship between the gut and the thyroid and talking about all the hormones and all of the different testing that we do, you missed something amazing. They pay this woman very well to travel the world and speak. And she came to Integrative Family Medicine for free from Atlanta and spoke for an hour. And those that were there, it was 100% packed out, sold out, people standing on the wall, against the wall. You need to watch the video. It's on there and it'll be up on YouTube this week as well. But she really explained the relationship between gut health and thyroid health. It was really amazing. And so I thank you all for showing her some love because it was great. And we also had our Fat to Energy Lemonade rep there from Sarasota, Florida, or I'm sorry, St. Pete, Florida. And that was amazing too. You guys sold her out. You guys bought it all. It was crazy. So Anything else?
No.
Thank you, Tanya.
Oh, thanks for having
You,
me.
I mean, this is great. Tennessee Family Doulas. She does not have a brick and mortar office yet, but that's what we're going to put on our prayer list.
Yeah.
Those of you that are here that are prayer warriors out there, because I hear from you all the time that you guys pray for us, and I really appreciate that. Pray for this, that you find a brick and mortar within the next 5 years, and you get to open up a center that is safe for women to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have, it's amazing, because when you have things like that and you have blessings like that, the more you have like that, the more you can help people who need it, right? Like the disadvantaged people, maybe some of the refugees. I mean, there's a whole, like, I can dream a huge thing for your life over here, right?
Right.
Because it's so needed. Women helping women. I'm telling you, we have to stick together. We need men. I mean, men are great. I don't know. I don't have a man, but men are fabulous. So I hear. But women helping women is a true thing, right?
Right. Yeah.
And she's doing it one labor and delivery at a time.
Yes.
I'm so excited for you. All right, guys, it's Sunday night. Have a great week. Remember, you have to eat well, sleep well, move well, poop well, decrease stress, and you got to cultivate community. It is key, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, call her. Her phone number's up there. Her website's up there. Sign up. Can you buy tickets yet for it, for Bump to Baby?
April 1st, they go on sale.
They go, okay, so in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, appreciate you. Have a good night.